The first thing I want you to learn to do is create a UTM, which is basically a URL that will contain additional information for Google Analytics to learn more about people coming to your website. For example, instead of just putting a link to your homepage on Facebook and trying to drive people back to your website, you would create a custom UTM so that you would know if someone came from Facebook versus anywhere else. You make UTMs so that you can understand the entire impact of your campaign. You make a lot of different kind of UTMs. You might make one for Twitter, another for Facebook. You might do one for an email campaign, perhaps an advertising campaign, or an online partnership. Every UTM can have certain details in it. For example, a UTM needs to have a spot for a source, a medium, a campaign. You might also put a term or content in there. Here's an example of what that might look like. Perhaps your campaign includes sending out an email newsletter, and you want to know if people click on that and come to your homepage. So you would make a custom UTM. The UTM would contain the campaign source, which would be newsletter 1, the campaign medium, it's going out over email, the campaign term, July, and the campaign name, product. You might also make another UTM that you put on Yahoo or Bing or Google, and it's to track your paid results. So it would be the campaign source, Yahoo, the campaign medium, CPC, which is cost per click. The campaign term would be whatever keyword you're paying for, and it's all part of the same campaign. You want to know which area makes the most traffic for your website. Here are some examples of what a UTM looks like. It basically looks like a really long URL. Please take a moment and see if you can identify the campaign, the medium, the source, and any other content from the above links. So how exactly do you do this? What does it look like to make a UTM? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I want you to go to https://support.google.com. You see the rest of it on your screen right now. Or if it's easier, and what I usually do is I Google create a UTM Google, and I click the first link. Scroll to the bottom. When you get there, you're going to see a form that you can fill out. Put in information. What website are you wanting to send people to? What is the information about the source or the campaign or the term? You fill it all out, and you're going to click the button at the end, and it's going to generate a custom UTM for you. Now, instead of just copying and pasting the home page into a spot on Facebook, on Twitter, on any other digital source, you're going to create a custom UTM each and every time. That way you know what's effective and what's ineffective. But where do you find this information? Once you create these UTMs, once you start using them, how do you know what one's working and what one's not? That's a great question. Go ahead and open your Google Analytics. I want you to go to the left-hand side in the reporting tab all the way down to campaigns. When you get to campaigns, you're going to be able to click on a tab and see that it has the exact same terms as UTM. You can see campaigns, sources, medium, and when you click on those, you're able to compare the type of traffic that each one brings. For example, you could compare all the different mediums of your UTMs to see which ones bring the most new visitors, the most returning visitors, who has the highest bounce rate, who stays on your website the longest, who looks at the most pages. So maybe you want to compare mediums of social media and cost per click and email. Maybe you want to look at sources. So instead of looking at social media versus cost per click, you actually want to compare Facebook and Twitter to see which one's sending the most traffic, who has the highest bounce rate. This is the way that you can compare all of your digital interactions to see which is most effective. Once you understand this process, you're able to create the UTMs for your final client proposal.